cut it in quarters. Okay, do not use knives on this material. It's not a cutting board. So this is a dough cutter. So we're going to cut it in half, and then cut it again in quarters. Okay. So then you're going to want to cover it up right away, because this will dry out super fast on you. Okay. So from here,
is it still really hard?
No.
No, it's not as hard as it was.
Right, it's really a little more relaxed. So now we're going to make a rectangle-ish. I'm going to use the knife of my hand to kind of flatten it out. And we're going to try and make as much of a rectangle shape as we can. Just to make sure you don't get too close. And then just work it out. What you don't want to do is go through here with super thick. Like, you wouldn't want to go through the roller with that thick of a piece, because it'll start shredding it. So you want to work it out by hand a little bit. And once you're about a 1/4 inch thick like that, that's fine to go through there. And I would recommend doing one piece at a time. Then once you're there, then you're going to put the handle in. It's on 0. The first time you go through, it's going to be the hardest, because you're going from really thick to thin. So go slow your first time through. And this is now rolling. So we're rolling the dough out. Once we roll it, then we'll cut it into, for this, I'll show you how to make fettuccine. And then we'll cut it into fettuccine length pieces. You know, what is that, a foot, 10, 12 inches, somewhere in there. And then we'll cut it after that. So those are our steps. So here we're going to go in real slow. You do want to stay away from the edges as much as possible, otherwise it's going to get stuck in there. So there's one time through, you can see. Nice. Okay. Then we'll go through again. And 0. And here I'm going to stop here. I want to put some unicorn tears right here.
Why do you do that?
It acts like a glue to seal the dough, because I want to make a pasta fan belt. I learned this trick, and because otherwise you'd put it through once, take it, put it through again, but now you can just do this. It's a fan belt. You can just keep going around, around, around. So then go through slow again here, because it's twice as thick, and once you're through, now you're good to go. See, now you can do this till the cows come home. So we really only need to go through here like one time each. So now I'm on 1. I'm going to put my hand inside here, and I'm just going to use my thumb and this fat part right here to kind of throw the dough over. So put your hand in here, crank, and just throw the dough over. So now I'm on 1. And you can kind of see the difference between 0 and 1. You see the line right there? It'll become more evident as you go change it up. So I'm on 2. Don't spend all day doing this, because you can get stuck. You'll just be sitting here for an hour later, you're like, whoa, I didn't really do anything. So go through once, maybe twice, and go on to the next one. Here, now that's you can see the visual there. So that's 2 and that's 3. You see the line? Yeah. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay, good. I wasn't sure if maybe I was like, are they sleeping? I didn't know. So then we'll go to 4. Everybody's going to go to 6. That's our final destination. But you see how much bigger this is getting? That's because of the gluten. See? I know, and people do. It's funny. On prep or event day in the morning, I'll look over and there's people sitting there like, your guests will be here in 10 minutes! And they're like, ah! And they freak out. I love it. It's fun. It's my favorite part of the year. So there, you can see kind of the transition.
Would you say this is your favorite?
Pasta? I don't really know if I have a favorite, but I do like pasta.
What happens if you break it?
You can seal it back together, but you really don't want to. So here you can see a good transition. That's it. The finer you go, the more you can see. But that's all the gluten development. So now we're all the way through. Once you're all the way through, then you take a knife, cut it, drop it, and then smack Austin. And then you cut it into spaghetti length pieces. What is that? That? Yes? Good?
Sure.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, 1, 2. And then you put them over here. You want to have a system like this, a sheet pan with a little moist towel in there, and put your pieces right in there. Because they will dry out, and then you don't want them to dry. Should we do really big ones? You don't want these to dry out too much before you cut them, because then they don't look good when they cut. So keep them covered nicely with some wet paper towel in there while you're doing everything else. Then, once you're here, we have cutters. We have fettuccine, spaghetti, fettuccine, spaghetti. You just slide right on here. And reganetti is right here. That's reganetti. How do you know that's reganetti? It says it on there. Then you take your dough, and again, don't let it dry out too fast. You're gonna put it either spaghetti or fettuccine. Put the arm in there, and then start it. Let it grab it, and then you're gonna hold it and cut it as it goes down. Just feed it straight down, and then put your hand underneath here. Grab it, let it go out, and then hang it on the tree.
It's like Christmas.
So how do you keep it from drying out when it's on the tree?
Now it can dry out. So this is the end game. And then what I would do is I would split this into even thirds. You know, try and get it semi, so you get 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 on your rack like that, because that's 3 orders of pasta. Then you can. 3 people are coming, drop it in the water. 2 people are coming, right? 1, 2, and then you just go like that. So that's the cutting of the long pasta. I'll also demo. Hold on. It's good.
Is it good?
That's my childhood right there. Pasta dough. You can try it if you want. So let me show you how to do tortellini now. So you're going to cut a square. That's square enough. And then you turn it sideways and just imagine a line going across. I'll put one here just so for. And then this is going to be our filling. We'll do pasta stuffed pasta. Why not? This is your cheese filling, right? Ricotta, pecorino romano, black pepper, shaved truffles. You're going to put it just above the middle line. Then you're going to take some unicorn tears, just on right here and here, and then seal that at the top. Seal the tip first, okay? Then you're going to work from the filling out, because you want to push as much air out of there as you can. So work around the filling and then work your way out. Once you're here, you notice it doesn't look very sexy, so you can trim it up a little bit. Right now it looks nice and sexy. So then you flip it over, put your pinky on there, roll this side over, unicorn tears. Fold this side over, trying to line them up. Press down. Don't do it too tight, otherwise you'll leave here like the Godfather. Kiss my pasta. Nah, it's kind of weird. I had a dream like that once. It's a family show. Watching.
Sorry.
No, you probably didn't know. And then you can kind of roll it down a little bit. And there's your nice tortellini. Okay?
Oh, that's what they're supposed to look like?
Yeah. And then another one you can do it with cutters if you want to do it this way. I've also seen it with like round cutters. Now what you don't want to do when you're using cutters is go like put it right here and cut. Why would you not want to do that?
You're wasting.
Wasting! So you go, I'm cheap, I'm like, get it right on the edge there. And then you just press down and then little twist. And then you're done. And then you can pull it out. Same thing, so imagine an imaginary line. We'll do our Pasta, stuffed pasta. What a lot of people do here too is they put too much filling in. So I would say put it in a piping bag with a little tip and just a little bit. Because if you overfill it, you can't seal it, it breaks, your whole water turns cloudy, your guests aren't happy, you'll have to repeat the class, and you'll be homeless in 3 weeks. Don't do it. Bad cycle. Okay, put your filling right above the median line, just above it. What do we put on there?
Water.
Unicorn tears. Unicorn tears.
Sorry. That's what I meant.
And then you start, like, same thing though, you pinch it at the top, and then you work from the filling out, around and out, pushing out the air. If you get air in there, and you put in water, what's going to happen? It'll explode, we'll lose the school, bad, just don't do it. And then you put your pinky on there, same thing. Unicorn tears, it's just a little different shape. No, Godfather? No. That's your homework. And then you roll it backwards.
And we can do whichever one.
You could do which one. I would say, keep them the same size, each of them. So a couple different ways you can do turtle.
Oh, that's
So that's